Hi guys, so I'm back with a new video and let's talk about The Whale. So if you've seen my most anticipated of the year, you know this was like right at the top. It was either on my third or fourth place for my most anticipated, and I was actually really excited to watch this one, and I'm really happy that I got to watch it this early because the official release date, at least here in Portugal, is just next year, like March of next year. And being able to watch it this year and maybe be part of my like top of the year, we'll see. It's like, yeah, it's really exciting. I was really looking forward to this one. Darren Aronofsky is my favorite director, and I love pretty much all of the films. I think I love all of the ones that I've seen. I know I only have to watch like two that aren't really my thing, but all the other ones that he directed, I love it. And yeah, let's just get to it. So if you don't know what The Whale is about, for me, I didn't really need to know much to get me hyped about this one. I only knew that this was directed by Darren Aronofsky, and that it was an A24, and just those two things made me excited right away. But you know, I'll get into it. But the cast also played a part. But story-wise, it might look like really simple, but I assure you there's more to it. But the basic premise is that a man is suffering from severe obesity and he tries to reconnect with his daughter one last time. And yeah, that's pretty simple, but as with most Darren Aronofsky films, there's a catch and there's more to it, but I'll get to that. In terms of the cast, you know, I told you that also played a part in my excitement. The movie stars Brendan Fraser, Sadie Sink, Wong Shao, and Ty Simpkins. Obviously, we all know Brendan Fraser and Sadie Sink, but I also saw something recently with Wong Shao. I can't really remember what, but I knew her face from somewhere. And Ty Simpkins, you might not realize it, but he's the kid from Insidious. Obviously, in this film, he's all grown up. He's like a proper teenager right now, and yeah, it's a little bit weird and yeah, just different. And yeah, I was surprised because I knew his face and I knew his name, but then when I looked it up and saw he was the kid from Insidious, I was like, wow, this kid grew up. And obviously we're going to see him grown up, like his age right now in the new Insidious film. But yeah, just thought I should mention that you might know him from that film. With saying that, let's get to what you want to know, which are my thoughts. So I'm happy to report that the film did not disappoint. It was actually quite surprising, honestly, just because it's a really simple story, but as I said, with most of Aronofsky's films, there's way more to it. And actually, as soon as the movie started and in the end as well, my first thought was that this did not look like a Darren Aronofsky film, but I'm saying them more in the like aesthetic sense, like cinematography. It's really different from all of his other films, and vibes as well. This is a proper drama. It's kind of slow, and I mean, it's just a really simple story and something that it's not fantastical. There's not like fantasy elements. Like there's definitely like weird things going on in like The Fountain or Black Swan. Both films have like a fantasy side to them. Or like Requiem for a Dream is like really high, obviously, but it's like really intense and like there's always something happening. It moves like in a really fast way, when this one is like slow and takes its time. And obviously comparing it to Mother, which is my all-time favorite film, yeah, there's nothing like. I feel like all of his other films are more intense in the way that they happen. Like there's always something happening. When this one takes its time to develop everything and feel slow, although you are engaged definitely, but in a different way. However, when I started thinking about the themes, this is your typical Darren Aronofsky film. Like his films never really end well, and yeah, that sort of happens in this one as well. And comparing it to all his other films, this is the more like real and honestly heartbreaking one. I feel like it's just because it never really goes in the fantasy like route. It feels real, and because of that it's just really heartbreaking. You feel like that is something that definitely happens. So it's kind of sad. Like in general is a film about life and death, about the meaning of life, which is something that he touches a lot in most of his films. It's about like human connections and human emotions, and honestly just what makes us human. At least that's what I got from the film. Maybe you'll have some other interpretations, but yeah, it's a really like touching film, and it's kind of sad. And that it's not only due to the story obviously, but it's also due to the score. Like you start the film and right away you feel like this heaviness, and I honestly think it's because of the score. Like it's a really dramatic and haunting score that just lasts throughout the whole film. It never stops, so you never get that heaviness out of you, so you always feel like something bad is about to happen. There are some like comedic moments, but even though I did laugh, that never feels right. It always feels like, yeah, you shouldn't be laughing because the whole situation is so sad. So yeah, it's definitely a heavy film. It's a gorgeous film. I loved like the story and cinematography and obviously the score, but yeah, it's a hard one to get through, definitely. And obviously I have to touch on the acting. Like Brendan Fraser gives like the one of the best performances of the year, definitely. I'm pretty sure he's going to be nominated for an Oscar and probably win. I feel like he is the new Joaquin Phoenix. Like this year's Joaquin Phoenix is going to win the Oscar, like I'm pretty sure. So yeah, but also Sadie Sink was pretty good as well. Although I feel like she's kind of typecasted right now. Like she always plays that angsty teen. Like her character on Stranger Things is kind of angsty, at least right now. She kind of is. She has always been, but right now she is. Like I feel like her character in Fear Street was almost the same, and her character here is pretty like angsty as well. So I feel like she's always playing the angsty teenager. I don't know, I just feel like all her roles are pretty similar. She plays them well, but yeah, I wanted to see her in something less dramatic, like something more fun, maybe a comedy, I don't know. But yeah, she was great in this as well. And overall, I totally feel like this deserves the praise it's getting. It deserves like a recommendation. I totally recommend you watch it. Just be warned that it's a sad film and it will leave you in a sad, bad mood. So yeah, keep that in mind, because yeah, it's not a happy film. The ending, you might, yeah, it's you make it what you want with the ending, like it's open to interpretation in a way. But throughout the whole film, it's pretty sad, the whole situation. So yeah, just keep that in mind. Post that, let's get to my scores. So overall, I give the film a 4 out of 5. I think it's a pretty good one. It might not stand out amongst other films like that came out this year, just because it's kind of slow. The cinematography is not like super stylized. It's like a simple story, but it's put in a good way, in my opinion. Cinematography, I give it a 3.5 out of 5. I did like the stylization, but as I said, it's not super stylized, and comparing it to other films in general and comparing it to other Darren Aronofsky films, it's really subtle. So yeah. And originality, I give it a 3 out of 5. It is original because I don't think we ever saw a story about like obesity, like extreme obesity. At least I don't really remember it, like a story like this put this way, but it's really simple, and I'm pretty sure you can guess where it's going. At least like the main plot, because there's a side plot that it's interesting and I never really thought about it. It kind of came out of nowhere, honestly, but I liked it. It surprised me. But the core story, I think you know where it's going. It's still impactful, but yeah, it's simple, so it's not super original. But I still liked it. So yeah, guys, these are my thoughts on The Whale. I don't know how many people have seen this one already, so if you have, let me know in the comments your thoughts. If you haven't, let me know if you're planning on watching it. Also, let me know which one is your favorite Darren Aronofsky film. I've told you, but yeah, mine is Mother. Definitely, I love Mother. And yeah, if you like the video, give it a thumbs up, subscribe if you're not subscribed yet, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! Also, side note, but just thought I should mention that David Cronenberg was in the screening for this film, and he was like 2 rows ahead of me, like literally. So yeah, just thought I should mention that. Bye!